Welcome back, guys, for another video, man. Today we're talking about my first candle sale and what that experience taught me, some things that I learned, and that feeling that I felt when I first did it. If you're a candle maker, if you're a person that's thinking about creating something, this video might be just for you. So let's get into it. All right, so my name is Ahmad, man. I'm a candle maker. I've been making candles now 5-6 years, as I am a Candle Co. CEO, founder. I'm saying all that. And today, this is a video for people who that can either resonate with this or who's thinking about starting that idea and they just haven't gotten started yet for whatever reason. Hopefully this video can inspire you. And yeah, so let's get into it. So my first candle making experience, I've been making candles now about 5 or 6 years. I started, I think this was 2021 that I started. And it started from a Soldier Boy interview. I said this story before. I'm not going to make it long. But pretty much I was watching an interview of him on Earn Your Leisure. Earn Your Leisure is a financial platform to talk about business, stocks, and stuff like that. And they interview artists, business owners, and different things, different people of that nature. And they kind of get their story. And so, Soldier Boy was kind of talking about why he does the businesses that he does or how he chooses them. At this time, he was making like a game console. And so they asked him, like, why do you do the business ideas that you do? And he pretty much was saying, like, hey, like, these are things that I'm passionate about. And the people that support me will support this. And, it led to a valuable lesson that a lot of times that the things that you like, there are people that like the same things that you like. And a lot of times, the friends and stuff that you meet and the acquaintances that you have, you guys are friends because you have similarities. So if you like it, they might like it too. And so that made me think, at the time I was trying to figure out like a business idea or something that I wanted to start. I was doing a music blog, but I felt like it was very niche because it's like it was for musicians. So I'm like, man, if I don't have no musicians, then I don't make no money. But let me do a product that other people might actually like. So I thought about candles. I called my ex at the time and I was just like, or my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, hey, what do you think about me starting candles? Like, and at this time, I didn't really have anything to do, and I just wanted put my energy into something. And so she was like, "Yeah, I think that'll be super dope to do." And so I went to, I think Michael's it was, to get like a candle making kit, and then we went to Dollar Tree and got some glasses, and I went straight to work, and I sold my first candles. I sold those candles very cheap. I think it was like 3 or 4 of them that I made, probably like $5 a piece. So I think I made $20, but it was a $20 well earned. And so obviously, there were a couple lessons that I picked up during that time. And these are the things that I want to talk about. So if you're still here right now, drop a thumbs up just so I know that you're here. And I appreciate you joining me. So the first thing that I learned is that what you want is possible. Now, before I say what you want is possible, people are thinking, cliche and, oh my gosh, yeah, dreams are possible and all these. I'm not talking about like in a fantasy way, but I am talking about in a practical way. What you want is practical. Sometimes it doesn't always come in the package that you think it should come in. And when you want to create things and stuff like that, it's not always a grand moment. It's not always a grand gesture. Sometimes it's the little hunches and the little ideas that you have in your mind that say, okay, maybe I can do this. And the understanding that as I made more candles, the path doesn't, the carpet doesn't roll right out as you think it will, but it is the getting started. So, it is possible. Like I said, it's not always the packaging, but understanding that that is something that you could do. The second thing is that you should just start. You don't have to be perfect. My candles literally were not perfect. I got the candle kit from Michaels. It wasn't good. The scent wasn't good. The scent throw, hot throw, cold throw, any of that was not good. But people supported me because it was me. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes it's just getting started because that can be the biggest hurdle. And sometimes the beginning is the hardest part, and that is true. Sometimes we think that when we're looking at something, we turn something that is a molehill into a mountain. And so what I mean by that is you think, okay, if I just get started, I have to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, man, you have to do whatever the bare bones of that thing is, whatever the bare bones of that idea is, that is what you need to do. So it doesn't have to be a grand idea. If you want to make content, you don't have to have lights and cameras. You can start on your phone. Like right now, I'm literally shooting this on my phone. This is a $20 mic. Eventually I'll upgrade. I got some lights. These was $20. And I just bought these last week. So you're talking about $40. Before then, the only thing I was shooting on my phone, and I would use the camera mic or like my headphone mic. So it really is just getting started. You don't have to wait for a perfect time. If you're looking for permission, I'm giving you permission. I think for me, even with the idea, asking my ex-girlfriend, hey, like, what do you think about this? I looked for validation, and we all do because we want to think that our idea is good. But sometimes it's not, it doesn't matter if that's the idea. It matters on acting on that idea so that way you can get to the next idea. Like I said, sometimes you just have to start. And the reason you have to start is because you don't know who might need that or who might need to be inspired by that. There is the place where you start, or there's the place where the idea is, and there's the place where you start. And sometimes that gap is a lot smaller than people think. They think it's like idea execution, but it's really idea execution. You just start with whatever the basic thing of that idea is, the video, the candles, whatever your creativity is, start there. Like, I'm giving you permission, please, because you don't know what kind of idea it'll lead to, right? And so this is the bonus, man. If you're here for the bonus, drop a thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. The bonus is people will show up and support you because it's you. You know what I mean? Like, that is the biggest thing. You're not a musician named Caleb. You're Caleb the musician. So allow people to get to know you, allow people to get to know your story, and they'll support you. When I started making candles, and even at my last job, people supported because it was me. Not necessarily because I make candles, even though making candles does help, but they supported the candles because of the person that's selling the candles, not because I'm just making the candles. So allow people to get to know your story, allow people to get to know you, and I think that'll help you. All right, till next time, peace.